Hey bees, welcome back to my channel, and I hope you guys are enjoying this video today because I have not done a story time in such a long time. I definitely thought I could share with you guys my experience, and I'm not trying to bash Walmart or Sam's Club at all. It's a great company to work for. More of the workers there, the employees, the managers that kind of make it a lot difficult for you to work with the company. Let's go and get right into the video. And if you guys are enjoying my story times, or if you guys want more story times about my job experiences, leave a like, leave a comment, like show me that you guys want more story times, because let me tell y'all, I got some interesting ones. All right. Okay, so when I got hired at Walmart, I think it was in October of 2019, so literally last year. It's been a full year since I've worked there, and I only worked there about 3 months, and I honestly feel very happy and grateful that I didn't work there any longer, because it's such a difficult job. More of the customers giving you such a hard time there, and I'm gonna show you guys 3 incidences that I experienced while working at Walmart and Sam's Club. So first things first, this I believe was during the holiday season, and this is, if you guys don't know, a lot of Walmarts have a lot of stuff locked up. A lot of the stuff that was in more of the personal care, a lot of that stuff was locked up because we would get a lot of people that would steal. So we would have workers in these yellow vests that would open up the cages and give you whatever you need, lock them up in like little bins, and give it to the customers. But this Walmart was honestly one of the busiest Walmarts. I think it was the top 3 busiest Walmarts in the world, and they literally emphasize this in the freaking training. I remember this guy, his name, let's not give him his real name, let's say his name was Peter. So Peter got hired with us, and we all kind of created a group chat when we got hired, because you know, who else better to discuss what you're going through with people who are also going through the same thing. So we created a group chat. We'd always check up on each other here and there, but we kind of went our own ways, because Walmart's such a big corporation that you lose track of people that you've met. This guy in particular, like I said, he would wear that yellow vest, he would unlock cages, give the products to people, blah 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 blah. So during the holiday season, obviously we're really jam-packed, we're super busy, there's absolutely super long lines, and I remember this guy named Peter. He was a very workaholic. He was very about much his job, and so there was a lot of people in Walmart that would slack off and kind of make your job a little bit harder, especially if they were to slack off. This guy Peter, it was one of those really busy days, and he was getting tired of his coworker slacking off, not doing his job, and he straight up told him like, hey, can you please do your job, because you're making my job a little bit harder. He was just being honest with him. I don't think he was being a jerk or anything. Obviously I wasn't there, but to me, I would have probably done the same thing and let them know, or I would have just talked to a manager and let them know. But to be honest, a lot of the times there's about 400 to 500 workers in one Walmart. If you see them or not, there's a lot of workers there really is. So there's different managers for each department, and sometimes I would even get confused myself on what department or who were my managers. I didn't get to know until like probably the last month, but I had good managers, I'm not gonna lie. But sometimes you would have to do things yourself, because the managers were always jam-packed doing other things, because like I said, there's 400 to 500 workers in each Walmart. That's a lot of freaking people to manage. So he felt like he needed to speak up on the subject and say something himself, and he let him know like, hey, I need you to be doing your job, because it's making my job harder doing twice the work, and customers are getting upset because you know we're being slow. And I guess the guy kind of took it in the wrong way. This guy was not having it. I guess like he was having a bad day or something, but he dead ass tried to fight this guy in front of customers, in front of people, and they actually had to pull them apart, and they had to take them to the back and kind of have a conversation. I don't know what the conversation was. I don't remember. He ended up quitting the job because I remember this. He said that they were trying to keep both of them and trying to convince him to like keep quiet, don't say anything, not call the ethics line. I don't really remember. But basically he ended up quitting because they were trying to keep the other guy, and I think they were trying to fire him. I don't really remember, to be honest. One of the two situations happened, but he definitely left the company. Months go by, not months, but like a month goes by, and it's getting closer and closer to Black Friday. And I think during this time we hired a lot of new employees, because, you know, we can't be working every single day. We obviously have to have an off day. So we hired a lot of employees, and a lot of them, they were shadowing us and stuff like that. So I had a girl who I was shadowing, and well, she was shadowing me, and I asked her, I was like, hey, do you want to take this customer? Because the customer had a lot of stuff in their cart, and I was like, this is perfect for her to like learn and know how to scan stuff. And she was like, sure. So she goes ahead and starts scanning everything. And let me tell y'all, this lady had so much crap in her cart. She started piling up $1,000 worth of product and merchandise. And so when it came to check out, the other lady, I don't know what the hell happened, but I was talking to my manager. My manager was right behind us, and I had turned around, and before I turned around, the lady with the cart was still there, and the lady was trying to pay. But the only thing is that her card kept getting declined. So she was like, oh, let me try this card. Let me try this card. So she kept pulling out a bunch of different cards. And I was like, okay. So she started to pull out a different card. And that's when I turned around. And I guess in that moment when me and my manager were kind of talking to each other, the lady with the cart left. And I don't remember seeing her. I don't remember when it happened. But she ended up leaving because when I turned back around, she was gone. And the lady who was trying to pay was like, hey, like, I'll be right back. Let me go get a different card. And when I turned around and I saw that the lady with the cart with a bunch of crap left, she was gone. They both left, and no one had paid this $1,000 bill. And I don't know why. Obviously, she was new, so she didn't know, like, how to handle herself in that situation. But as soon as I saw that lady leave, I kind of turned around to my manager and be like, hey, like, she left. Like, she bolted. And she was like, what? Are you serious? So literally, this lady racked up $1,000 worth of merchandise and literally picked up all her shit and left right in front of us. Well, in front of her, because I was turned around, but I should have been like watching her, obviously. But she literally got her stuff and left. And I kind of told her, I was like, hey, like, when you see something like that, the cart is not supposed to leave. It's supposed to stay here in the building for situations like that. And I guess she like understood and she knew. So how I got to Sam's Club was actually my friend Delia. Sister was a supervisor at Sam's Club, and she kept telling her manager, hey, like, can you hire this girl? And I guess during the holidays, sometime around there, they were hiring new people. And let me tell y'all, there are good people at Sam's Club. I remember a lot of good people, and there's a lot of bad people. And so with this manager I kind of got hired with, I told her my schedule. I told her everything that I needed to have because I was still going to college, or I was going to college during that time. I still am now. But during that time, I was in school, and I would tell her, like, hey, just so you know, I'm in school. I need to have my schedule a certain way, and that makes it a little bit difficult for managers because obviously your schedule is more closed than somebody who isn't going to school. But obviously, I was very grateful and happy that she hired me and she worked with me in the sense of me going to school and managing work as well. I was there for a couple days, and I wouldn't clock in or I wouldn't clock out because I thought some way, somehow they knew when I would clock in and clock out. And I don't know why I just didn't put two and two together. But so to provide more detail, I remember her telling me that she was going to give it to me later. And I guess whenever I went to actually work, she had forgotten them then. And then I also forgot. So I just never brought it up to her again until that girl that I became friends with mentioned it to me. So moving forward, I was there for a couple days, and I wouldn't clock in or I wouldn't clock out because I thought some way, somehow they knew when I would clock in and clock out. Not to mention, she was the one that was doing the schedule, so I wasn't sure how this even happened where she shorted me and didn't know what days I worked because, again, like I said, she was the one that did the schedule. So... And I don't know why I just didn't put two and two together, but to be honest, the manager should have been keeping more track of me. I feel like because I worked at Walmart previously, she wasn't too like on to me. She wasn't on my ass all the freaking time. She actually just like threw me on the line, let me be, and that was that. So I wouldn't clock in or out, but I would write down every single time she would ask me to come in. And I would write it down in my notes. I would put it in my calendar just so I wouldn't forget. And I think finally when I was supposed to get paid, or no, I had made this friend there at Sam's Club, and we were closing and we had taken our last break of the night. I was telling her how she was clocking in or out, and I was like, oh, I haven't even done that. Like the whole entire time that I were working here, I haven't clocked in or out. She kind of looked at me and she was like, what? She was like, no girl, you need to be clocking in or out. And she was like, how do you come to work? Like, how are they keeping track? And I'm like, oh, like, I'm pretty sure, like, she's keeping track. She's like, no, girl, they don't keep track of nobody's schedule. Like, you're supposed to be clocking in or out. So I end up going to this manager and I tell her, I'm like, hey, I haven't been clocking in or out because they're supposed to give you a yellow barcode, and she had yet to give me that barcode. And I was like, okay. She never gave me the barcode. She was like, oh, okay, like, we'll go ahead and, like, see. We'll talk about it tomorrow whenever you come in, blah, 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 blah. So I hold off. We hold off to talk about the situation. And so I remember telling her the days and the times that I had worked. And when she had given me my check, I would think I was, like, $100 short of my check. And I got very upset because you don't play with my money, honey. And honestly, I'm one of those people that keeps track of everything that I do. And so when I had calculated on my phone, it was $100 short. And I told her, I was like, hey, just to let you know, like, I'm $100 short. She wouldn't answer my messages. She didn't pick up her phone. And I literally had just left, not even like 2 seconds ago. So I was like, okay, I know she's still there. So I was like, fuck this. I'm gonna go inside and I'm gonna go talk to her. So I got out of the car and I went to go talk to her, and I let her know, like, hey, this is short, this is not the right amount. And honestly, at that point, I could have sued her and the company because they're paying me less and they weren't being observant or paying attention to their workers. And if I didn't calculate it, I would have been short. I would have been working for free at that point. And I was like, hell no. So I got up, I put my big boy pants on, and I went to go talk to her, and I told her, hey, like, what's going on here? And so she was like, okay, I'll go ahead and fix it, this and that. And so she went ahead and kind of like fixed it, I guess. And a couple months go by, like, I kept having to reach out to her, and she wouldn't text me, she wouldn't message me about my pay. And I think it took her about 3 weeks just to get me my extra $100, which is absolutely outrageous, girl. Like, if I tell you you're shorting me in my paycheck, I expect it to be there within a week, because I know sometimes circumstances happen and then it takes a while, and I'm not expecting you to be there the next day. I give you a week tops, but 3 weeks is just over exaggerated, because every 2 weeks we get paid. Why are you taking 3 weeks just to get me my money? I don't know what she had to do or what she needed to do to get me my money, but long story short, I ended up getting paid. I think like a month goes by, and it was about to be tax season, and I needed to get the papers for my taxes. And I had messaged her, and I was like, hey, just to let you know, for my tax papers, am I gonna get one for Sam's Club, or is it gonna come with the Walmart one? Because obviously Sam's Club and Walmart, Sam's Clubs and Walmart is one corporation, and they're just separate they're separate, like, names, companies, whatever, but it's one corporation. And so I had messaged her, and I just wanted to be clear, because I don't want to be lying, like, not documenting that in my taxes or whatever. So I had asked her, and y'all, this freaking never answered me. And I had texted her 3 times. 3 times I texted her, and none of those times she answered me. And I was like, you know what? End your little nasty attitude self. That's just the little story time that I have. It was such a long story time. It was literally 30 minutes of me videotaping, and I'll have to cut this down a lot. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel so I can post up a new story time. And yeah, I hope you guys had a wonderful holidays. Stay safe, and I love you guys. See you guys soon. Bye.